Why you must never look poor, even if you are. Machiavelli. Judgment happens instantly, before you speak, before you move, before your essence even has a chance to breathe. The I has already decided, and that decision becomes either your crown or your prison. The world does not wait for explanations. The world does not pause to measure your character. Appearances strike first, and they strike deep. To look poor is to invite chains. To look rich is to command doors to open. This law spares no one. Beggar or prince, merchant or soldier, lover or ruler, all are bound by the tyranny of appearances. The man who masters the mask bends the crowd to his will. The one who neglects it is trampled before his voice can rise. Power does not begin with substance. Power begins with the signal you send. Consider the poor man. He may labor endlessly, sacrificing sleep and health. He may speak wisely, holding truths that could save nations. He may give daily, pouring his strength into others, and yet his labor enriches everyone but himself. His wisdom is mocked as empty chatter, and his sacrifice is dismissed as weakness. Why? Not because he lacks effort, but because he lacks splendor. His poverty is not seen as innocence, but as infection, a warning sign, a mirror of what others fear becoming. And men punish what they fear. They push him down, not because he deserves it, but because he reminds them of their own nightmares. Poverty becomes a disease, and like all diseases, men isolate it, scorn it, and pretend they are immune. Poverty is punished beyond reason. Appearances are rewarded beyond justice. This is why the wise man invests in symbols, not comfort, in spectacle, not indulgence. The robe you wear, the words you choose, the posture you hold, these are not ornaments. They are armor. They are fortresses. They are crowns. Without them, you are naked, exposed, and forgotten. You may carry brilliance in your chest, but brilliance without splendor is like gold buried in mud, unseen, unvalued, untouched. The world does not kneel before essence. The world kneels before masks. To whisper weakness in your appearance is to silence your own power before your lips even part. Understand this cruelty. The world despises poverty not purely out of hatred, but out of terror. To see you lacking is to glimpse their own possible ruin. They recoil, they laugh, they despise, but in truth, they are protecting themselves. They mock poverty to keep it far away. That is why humility without power is ridiculed, but humility with power is worshipped. A king who bows is praised for grace. A beggar who bows is ignored, for he had no choice. Compulsion is despised, choice is admired, and choice is written in appearance. Your mask determines whether your bow is seen as humiliation or majesty. Look carefully at history. Priests draped themselves in gold, not because God demanded splendor, but because men obey gold. Judges sit on high thrones, not because justice requires height, but because men submit more easily to what looks above them. Generals polish their armor, not because steel must shine, but because soldiers fight harder for what looks unbreakable. Everywhere, in every age, in every realm, power cloaks itself. Splendor is not decoration. Splendor is law. The theater of authority is not optional. It is the throne itself. Ignore it, and you are erased from the stage before the first act begins. This is why rulers invest fortunes in spectacle, thrones, crowns, palaces, rituals. Not luxuries, but weapons sharper than steel. A king who looks poor may be loved, but he will never be feared. And without fear, his throne is fragile. Understand this eternal law. Love is fickle. Fear is loyal. Men may abandon love in a single heartbeat, but they cling to fear as though it were iron. Fear anchors. Fear endures. To look rich is to plant fear before you act. To look poor is to strip fear away and leave yourself defenseless. And do not think this law spares private life. The merchant who looks poor is cheated before he speaks his price. The thinker who looks poor is dismissed, no matter how brilliant his words. The husband who looks diminished is despised, not out of lack of love, but out of lack of perceived strength. The same truth governs all. The image decides long before the essence is considered. Perception precedes reality, and once perception hardens, reality is chained to it. To reverse it requires 10 victories for every one doubt. Easier to master the mask at the beginning than to fight the judgment after it has been made. So remember this: you cannot escape appearances. You can only master them. To look poor is to accept erasure. To look rich, even when your purse is empty, is to command respect, attract allies, and disarm enemies. Illusion first, reality second. The mask creates the path. The mask becomes the face. Men obey shadows as if they were substance. They follow splendor as though it were truth. And so you must never, under any condition, look poor. For the man who looks poor has already surrendered. He is forgotten before he fights. But the man who cloaks himself in splendor, even borrowed splendor, has already won before the battle begins.